Welcome to this video regarding Inspector 7.1 and references. So references are one of the most frequently asked questions for users when they ask about this tool. Where is this field referenced? Where is this layout referenced? Where is the script referenced, etc. And so we'll cover ways in which Inspector represents that information for you, and then we'll cover some unique features regarding specifically for fields in regards to where data is being modified on a field. We call that targets. And then we'll understand how you can look up indirection and see how you can gain confidence if you're about to delete any layouts. So let's go ahead and open up Inspector. Let's go dive in to this analysis. And if we look at the dashboard here, we could go ahead and just drill into the list of fields, sub-summarized by database, by base table, and the fields that are in that base table. We see on the far right, there's always a column, either a references and dependencies column, or dependencies only, or references only. But there's usually the column on the far right is going to be references. In this case, for fields, I see there's 14 references of this field. If I open up the window, I can look at those references of those fields, and I can drill in to a particular reference and take a look at it in the context of where it's referenced. So here it's being referenced in a script. So if we go back to the list of fields, and let's close this window and go look at ID in the event table, that has 34 references. If we look at those references, Inspector gives you these little green targets. You see them on the left here. And those green targets indicate that, for example, this layout on this field, on this layout at this location, and the layout of event utility is actually an enterable field, meaning that the data for that field can be modified there. The data can also be modified in script steps. For example, this step right here, if we go to it, we'll see that the field is actually the target. So meaning set field is going to modify that field, whereas the other step referenced there is referencing it basically in a find. Very, very different. So targets can be incredibly useful. So now let's look at drilling into layouts. Again, layouts here on the far right, we see the reference count here, but we also have, so in this case, we have 6 references for that utility layout. Again, if we look at scripts here, we have a column of references. We'll see 15 references for that particular script. So in terms of consistency, that column is always there, and it gives you an indication of the references that are there. There's another feature in Inspector which lets you isolate the layouts that are not referenced. So I have 47 layouts, and 38% of them are unreferenced, the 18. I can click on all the layouts to see all of them, or I can click on the 18 to go and drill into the layouts that have 0 references. And so these layouts could be deleted. But then you'd want to check and see if you use any indirection. Now, when you bring in an analysis and you check gather extra info, what that does is, if we go back to the dashboard, you'll get another tab called Extra Info. And we normalize and cross-reference all these bits of information for you so that, in this case, we're looking at layout destination types, and we're not using anything with regards to layout. Go to layout by name, go to layout by number. If we were to go back to those layouts that are unreferenced, we'd have a high degree of confidence that deleting these layouts isn't going to affect anything. So that's one way of looking at using indirection. We also have other features where you can look up functions, for example, evaluate and execute SQL to see if you have any field indirection. If you wanted to look at scripts, there's also steps. And if you look at set field by name, in terms of fields, again here, this is going to tell you that this step is actually using set field by name. So before you go and look at any fields that are unreferenced, you may want to consider, those areas and consult with those areas before deleting, say, any fields that have 0 references. So just to recap here, some of the most frequently asked questions: where are objects or items referenced? We covered that. We covered some unique features with regards to showing fields where they're used as a target. And we'll look at some various ways to look up indirection to gain confidence in deleting said objects. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.